If you're like me, no matter where you live in the country, it can be February, March, April, or May. That first warm day, you just can't wait to put on the shorts and the sandals and get out and work on the lawn. Well, before you ever begin applying any fertilizer or grass seed or any extra water, there's a few things you should do. Primarily, you need to assess how the lawn made it through the winter. Well, this lawn right here, quite frankly, didn't make it through the winter very well. And that's because the homeowner didn't take the time to mow the grass low enough last fall. Now, any area of the country where snow is expected, you really ought to be mowing the grass down to a couple of inches high. Let's take a look at some of the length of some of these dead. Look at this. This piece of grass right here is over 6 inches tall. That's a lazy homeowner who's going to pay the price this year. Now, that tall grass mats itself down. Look right over here. See how that matted? Now you got a raking job. You got to clean all that up, and the grass underneath there is all dead. That's going to delay the nice green lawn that we're all looking for this spring. But even worse, that tall grass is a haven for critters. Now, in this lawn, you can see significant damage from field mice. Now, look at the tracks of the mice. I can follow my finger, and you can see where the mice went along the surface. And as they go, they did all kinds of damage. Now, look what happens. I pull this back with just my fingers, and see all those dead patches? That's going to be a significant repair that I'm going to have to clean up. Now, I can see the holes right here, and here's a big hole right here. Now, a lot of people ask how you can tell the difference between field mice and moles. Well, moles are carnivores, and they're looking for grubs, and they tunnel deeply as they go. And they're going to leave conical piles of soil. Well, on this lawn, there were no conical piles, and because all the damage is on the surface, I know that it was field mice that were my critters. And I know that the homeowner was to blame because he didn't mow low enough, so remember that. Boy, that is a lot of work, and I can't believe I have this whole lawn to do. That's one way to go about it, with the old-fashioned hand rake. And you see here I've got a bamboo rake. And really, when it comes to digging down into the grass like this, a nice tight mat, nothing has improved on the old-fashioned bamboo rake. These wooden tines dig right into the soil, and the idea is to scratch the soil surface. Because if you're going to put any grass seed down, like over in these areas, you need to have good soil contact. And nothing beats the bamboo. You can actually see here too, I've got duct tape. That's just a little bit of reinforcement for the tines, because after a while these will get brittle and break. And I find that this is just a little layer of reinforcement. Now over here, I have a plastic rake. These are far more prevalent these days. I don't like them quite as much for this particular job. They're great for leaves, but for dethatching, I find that they tend to stay on the surface more, and they don't clean up the grass quite as well, but that's really kind of a personal preference kind of thing. Now, to rake up this entire lawn, this is about 5,000 square feet. I'd be out here for several hours, and quite frankly, I don't have that kind of time or energy today. So I'm going to show you a mechanical trick that you can use to do the same job. Oh, that is so much easier than the rake. This is also known as a power rake and a dethatcher. It goes by both names. The secret runs just like a lawnmower, but the secret is these metal tines that dig right down into the surface of the soil. They're not too sharp, so you can't cut yourself with them. But as they do, you can see all the material that it's really power raking up for you. It would take you a lot more effort with a lawn rake than it would with this. And you can see right down to the soil. It actually scratches the surface, which is the goal. You can see the new shoots that are peeking up through, and a lot of this brown dead stuff, well, it's raking that up for you. Now, you're also going to notice that right now I'm wearing long pants, I'm wearing boots. I also had ear protection and eye protection. Now, as lawn equipment goes, a dethatching machine or a power rake is not dangerous. In fact, it's probably just as easy to use as a lawnmower that you may have in your garage. But it's always a good idea to use the ear protection to protect your ears, because the decimals that these put out can damage your ears for long-term use. So even if you're mowing your lawn, eye protection also necessary with any lawn equipment, even your lawnmower. It's not likely, but it is possible that this could kick up a rock, something else that could get you in the shin, could get you in the stomach, worst case scenario, get you in the eyes. So wear the safety equipment. Now when you've taken the power rake back to the rental store, and mind you, you don't need to own one. Since you only use it a couple of times a year, you're better off renting. But when you come home, you still got a big job to do, and that's to rake up all of this brown grass, also known as thatch. Now I use a lawn rake because it's easy work, it's good exercise, and I put it all on one of these blue lightweight poly tarps, just sweep it right on. There's no need to grind anymore into the grass because the power rake has done that job for you. And look at what a good job it does right over here. You can see where the mice damage occurred. Now I've got great soil contact. So if I put grass seed or fertilizer on those spots right there, I'm golden. I'm good to have my lawn repair take hold. After that, only one job remaining: what to do about all this thatch. Well, for goodness sakes, don't put it by the roadside in one of those paper bags, or even worse, a plastic bag. A part of a good natural lawn program is to recycle everything on your lawn. This contains nitrogen and other micronutrients that you can use to make your grass green the rest of the year. Follow me and I'll show you how. I'd encourage you all to think about your dead grass as a primary ingredient in a compost pile. Now this is a simple compost bin made out of pallets that are readily available anywhere, nailed together on the corners, have plenty of air movement, and this is so lightweight, I just grab my tarp by the corners, pick it up, plop it in, dump it in, and go back and get another load. Now by this fall, that dead grass is going to decompose, and it's going to look like this rich brown compost that I apply to my vegetable gardens and the rest of my landscape. And because I care for this lawn organically, I don't have to worry about toxic chemicals winding up